The last artery to note on the anterior surface is a branch of the right coronary artery which passes up around the superior vena cava to supply the sinoatrial node specifically. Finally, on the diaphragmatic surface, there are two main arteries to note. These are the left marginal artery, which is the final part of the left coronary artery, and the posterior interventricular artery, which is the final part of the right coronary artery. Let's recap those arteries and see what regions they supply. The right coronary artery travels in the coronary sulcus to supply the right atrium and ventricle. The right marginal artery branches from this to supply the right ventricle and part of the apex. The anterior interventricular artery supplies the interventricular septum and part of the left and right ventricles. And the posterior interventricular artery does the same, but on the diaphragmatic surface. The left circumflex supplies part of the left atrium and ventricle. And finally, the left marginal artery supplies part of the left ventricle. Okay, let's finish by looking at the veins. Most of the blood supplying the heart eventually drains back into its chambers, usually the right atrium, via the coronary sinus, which sits at the border between the base and diaphragmatic surfaces. Although some additional blood does drain via small perforating vessels called the Thebesian veins. On the diaphragmatic surface, the main veins of note are the posterior cardiac vein, which runs over the left ventricle, the middle cardiac vein, which travels with the posterior interventricular artery, and the small cardiac vein, which brings blood from the anterolateral side of the heart. On the anterior surface, we see the right marginal vein, which will join the small cardiac vein, and the anterior interventricular vein, which travels with the anterior interventricular artery. This vein eventually joins the great cardiac vein, which will travel around to the other side of the heart to produce the coronary sinus. And there we go, that's all you need to know about the blood supply of the heart. We release new videos like this all the time, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an upload. That's all for now. I hope you learned something and have a great day.